Hey, it's Marshall Ting with your Superior Ag Insurance Weekly Review for this past week, the week of February 14th through the 18th. So let me start off by saying that at the current moment, everything looks like it's on a positive note. Your corn is trading higher, your soybeans are trading higher, and your lightweight cattle in these barns are definitely trading higher. Now, don't forget, there's a lot of outside things going on in the world around us that can have an effect on this and can have an effect quickly. Just take, for example, you've got your U.S. stocks and your crude are down this week. Your U.S. dollar is higher, and then everybody's still watching this Russia-Ukraine situation going on. You've got the U.S. central bank rate increasing, as well as your U.S. labor shortages and truck shortages across the U.S. and Canada both. But, not to sound like a Debbie Downer, but at the current moment, everything is sounding extremely strong. So let's talk about your corn market. So your corn has seen a small gain for the week. That's going to be both on your new crop and your old crop corn. And your Kentucky corn basis has moved back to a smaller premium than it has been, but you're still seeing 5 to 10 cents over what the futures board is, depending on your market location. So your corn for the week. Your March 22 corn is up about 3 cents. Started out the week at $6.51 a bushel. Closed the week at $6.54 a bushel. July corn, $6.45 a bushel. Closed the week at $6.47 flat. And then your December corn is going to be $5.9475 to start the week off with. And you had about a 3 cent gain on the week, closing the week at $5.9775. So not a bad deal going on there. I think the biggest issue that everybody's thinking about right now, as far as this corn is concerned, is going to be with your spring weather and planting. Everybody's so concerned that we've got such a wet spring as we come into it, and it might end up being like back in 1983 where you had an extremely wet spring, and then by the time summer rolled around, it was dry as the Mojave. So just keep that in mind. Everybody's concerned about that potential for a dry summer, and that could have a huge effect on the market as we go into it. Now, let's talk about your soybean market. Your Kentucky soybean market is still positive. That's your basis there. It's going to be still positive, and you're still seeing a premium over the futures board by 5 to 20 cents. So that's a really positive note. Your March soybeans, March of 22, started off the week at $15.83 a bushel. Closed the week at $16.01 per bushel. Your July 22 beans started the week at $15.81 a bushel. Closed out the week for about a 20-cent gain there at $16.01 flat. And then your November contracts, your November 22 soybeans, $14.44 for the start of the week. About 20 cents there, 20 cents gain as well. Closed out the week at $14.63 a bushel. But check this out. Now, as far as for the month, soybean futures have rallied 110 cents, which is outstanding. Your soy meal has raised about $32, and your soy oil by about 2 cents there. So that's a really good sign. But now everybody's still really concerned now about this potential soybean shortage there coming out of South America, and that could have a huge effect as we go on into things. Now let's talk about your cattle market. Now, your cattle market, as far as how cash trade is going through the stockyards on these lightweight cattle, these little lightweight calves are on fire. I mean, you've had for the past probably 2.5 weeks now, with this good weather coming in here, everybody's got green grass fever. You're seeing it up to $2.30 three-weight steer cattle, $2.20 to 25-cent four-weight steer cattle, and we actually had, not this week but last week, right there at $2.05 weight steer, and we might have had some this week. I just haven't looked at the full market review for the week, but this lightweight cattle, I'm telling you, it is on fire. You might have seen a little bit of backup on your yearling cattle, your heavier cattle, but not a whole lot to amount to much. As far as your heavier cattle loads, you're trading across the central part of Kentucky. You're looking at about $1 to 3 cents under what your CME feeder cattle index is for the week, and that's not a bad sign, considering it is Kentucky, and we are seeing some different things going on with these heavier cattle. They're not as strong right now as your lightweight grass cattle are. Let's talk about your board on those. So your feeder cattle market, you actually in your March contracts for feeder cattle, you did see a slight decrease on them. Started off the week at 166.22. By the time we closed out the week, you're at 165.42. So a slight drop there. But the rest of your contracts, your April, your May, your August, and your November contracts were up, not by much, but they still were on the up. Now let's talk about your fat cattle trade. As far as actual cash trade, you had your Packers bought some cattle Thursday at $1.42 to $1.43 in the Midwest. But check this out now. Your small groups of heifer actually outsold your steer cattle in these situations. Now move down into Kansas and Texas. You're seeing fat cattle trade for $1.42, and some of them up to $1.42.5 there on Wednesday. But now, as far as your live cattle futures, they look this past February contracts, February 22 contracts. You're looking to start the week off at $1.4187. They closed out the week this week at $143.25. Now, as we go on the rest of the way down the board, there's a little bit of fluctuation, but I'd call it pretty much flat. Not too much going on, a few cents up, a few cents back, but pretty much flat. Now, your national daily direct cattle for this past week, your 5-day accumulated average, your live steer cattle, average weight of 14.94. They were bringing $1.4196. Your live heifer trade, 13.37 on the average at $1.4195. Dressed steer cattle, 974 pounds was your average weight there at $224.94. And then your dressed heifer market, you're looking at 879 pounds on them at $2.24.93. Now, don't forget, your crop insurance pricing is still going on until February 28th. And as of the 18th now, your corn, you're looking at $5.85 a bushel. Your soybeans, you're looking at $14.23 a bushel there. So if you have any questions on any of that, feel free to reach out to us. It's Superior Ag Insurance at Ian Thomas, 859-613-2453, or Damon Reed at 859-200-9188, or check us out on the net at www.superioragins.com. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Friday.